Hello everybody and welcome to the Xero 2022 Fall and Winter Launch Campaign. Now before we start, I want to say about Xero shoes is that they're so good at responding to what the barefoot customer needs. They create exactly what the international barefoot community is looking for every year. And before we continue to get the legal jargon out of the way, I am a Xero affiliate and I did receive these shoes for free. However, my opinion is my own. Now, these three shoes here are similar. This is the Forza Runner, this is the Forza Trainer, and this is the Xero Prio. We know this shoe already in suede. So I'm going to first review the one that kind of is different than the rest. This is the Xero Denver, which we also know, but it's a leather version. Xero normally likes to be vegan friendly, but in this case he decided to create a leather version to cater to those who wanted some leather on their feet. They have black and brown. It weighs around 320 plus grams. It's super normal looking. I'm really impressed because even though it's wide toe box, even though it's super flexible, it just looks like a sexy winter boot. So while black is not my favorite color, I really like how these look. They also have a nice flannel lining. It's their classic True Grip outsole. It's waterproof, although I would suggest waterproofing it with a waterproof cream or treatment as well. It sits just about by the ankle bone, and it's the Denver reimagined in leather. Next up, we got the Xero Forza Runner. Now, what's different about these is two things. Now, before we continue to the Runner, all these have removable insoles, like all Xero shoes. The stack height is 6 millimeters on all these shoes, and the thermal insole, because it's a winter shoe, adds another 3.5 optional thickness to it. Forza Runner, same concept. It has an optional removable 3.5 millimeter insole. The tread is a little bit different than most of their models. In fact, if you look at the Prio here, the Prio has the true sole, which is good for this day-to-day, whereas the Runner has a nice tread, which actually kind of like mimics the way you'd run, which is super good for grip, even if it's a little bit wet. Super flexible, and best of all, what makes this better about, say, the HFS or the Prio is that it's a sock-like feel. So even though it has laces, it's a slip-on. So it really gives a true extension of your foot, which will really allow you to feel comfortable in running. The Prio I'm not going to spend too much time on because we know it already, but Prio actually, it's a leather version. It's the same shoe you normally know, it just has a leather suede upper. So it's leather, it's not vegan, it's the same shoe we know and love. It also has a 3.5 millimeter insole. It also has a stack height of 6 millimeters, and it's also somewhere between 230 250 gram weight range. Last up, this one I was really impressed by, also how different it was. This is the Forza Trainer, and what they're trying to do is basically design a weightlifting shoe. And I don't mean a weightlifting shoe with an elevated heel, because that probably wouldn't go into what Xero's looking to create. But it has that classic strap, which really can tighten the shoe to your foot to make it extremely comfortable for lifting weights and or gymming in. What's really unique about this sole is that it is flexible like any other shoe, but it just has this certain stiffness to it, which is very similar to what you would have in a weightlifting shoe. Until now, if I had to lift weights in Xero, I would use the Xero 360 model because it has that nice rubber grippy sole, but this is specifically designed for the gym. In fact, if you were to weightlift in this gym, you'd have that nice thwack as you catch the clean or you jump and land, and it's hard to explain it, but it has a certain thickness and rigidness to it that most barefoot shoes don't have, even though it's flexible. And what's even better is that, let's say, unlike the Forza Runner here, it has a little bit of a higher heel here, and I don't mean elevated heel, which just really secures your foot in the shoe. Keep in mind, normally you don't want too much of a heel counter. I mean, you don't want your foot to be supported too much, but because it's a weightlifting shoe, you're not looking to run in it, so it actually could be very useful. Similar Huaracha style system, and it has a nice strap. It also comes in a nice different other colors. 6 millimeter sole. This is Sarah's shoe. And same concept, just women, slightly smaller. Same toe box, just in a smaller size. That's all for Xero 2022's winter and fall collection.